Hello luxury watch lovers! In this channel, I cover the background, fundamental design features, and things to consider before buying your watch. If you have a luxury watch that you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments below. In this video, I'm going to cover the best micro-brand watches for men in 2023. Small batch watchmakers that produce their own designs are becoming well known in the watch industry. Many of the top micro brands have innovative designs built of high-quality materials at reasonable prices. However, finding the greatest microbrand watch might be challenging. These aren't household names yet, and if you're new to the watch world, it may appear that there's some risk involved. A microbrand watch is also quite valuable. Most use the same premium components and mechanisms that you'd find in a watch from a more well-known brand that costs 4 times as much. Finally, you'll acquire a unique watch that makes you stand out from the crowd and reduces the likelihood that you'll see someone else sporting the same microbrand wristwatch. Now let's take a look at some of the best microbrand watches for men in 2023. Starting at number 10, Dan Henry 1962. In recent years, Dan Henry Watches has produced some of the most attractive affordable watches. The Dan Henry 1962, the brand's most recent release, is probably their most bold design to date. The 1962 is a rather decent size, measuring 39mm broad and 45.9mm from lug to lug. When you put the watch on, you're embraced by a design that melts onto your wrist. Given the mecha quartz movements used in the 1962, the watch is also lightweight and never makes you feel weighed down by it. You can choose between a conventional or reverse panda design, a black dial with gold accents, or a blue dial with orange hands. A Maserati T-Post 60 is also featured on the case back, which is a nice touch. Dan Henry claimed in the watch's description that the 1962 was inspired by chronographs that had been on the track as well as the moon. The general aesthetic of this piece is timeless and looks fantastic on and off the wrist. Moving along to number 9, Dan Henry 1970. Dan Henry does more than solely racing chronographs. The 1970 is a vintage-inspired diver powered by the reliable Seiko NH35 movement. The twin crowns, bezel, case back, and complete watch are made of 316L stainless steel. The watch's finish is primarily brushed, with a few very excellent polished accents running along the case's bottom, the lower part of the bezel, and down over the ends of the lugs. The Dan Henry 1970's main crown and screw-down case back give it a 200-meter water resistance rating. This watch fits comfortably on the wrist and doesn't appear top-heavy. It is quite comfortable even with the supplied Tropic strap. Hopping across to number 8, Monta Oceanking. Monta, situated in St. Louis, Missouri, sells Swiss-made timepieces at a fraction of the price of a larger manufacturer. Their Oceanking is slightly over 40mm broad and 49mm from lug to lug, and it could be challenging to tell whether or not this watch will suit your wrist. The Oceanking masterfully balances wrist presence with heaviness. When you hold it, everything feels quality, and that comfort spreads to the wrist. The Oceanking employs the Monta Caliber M22 self-winding mechanical movement with a bidirectional rotor. It is manufactured, assembled, and tested in Switzerland. A quick adjust clasp with 6 slots for micro-adjustment is included on the Oceanking bracelet. In addition, each bracelet comes with 2 half links, making it simple to select the perfect fit. In the name of luxury is number 7, Monta's Triumph. The name and design of Monta's Triumph are direct references to one of the more popular luxury field watches. It might even be better if it weren't for the heritage and high-end movement. When it comes to the overall design of their watches, Monta focuses heavily on ergonomics and comfort. This is plainly evident when you put the Triumph on. The Triumph's thin 9.6mm case blends in perfectly with the wearer's wrist while maintaining the weight that a tool watch wearer would want. By keeping the watch slim and unobtrusive, Monta was able to manage the rugged elegance of vintage field watches like the original Hamilton car keys. The Triumph is easily readable. The watch's large sword hands, thick markers, and legible printed numerals all contribute to its readability at a glance. Contrasting colors and surfaces are balanced, which enhances readability. The radially brushed bezel complements the sunburst pattern on the dial. The level of attention to detail by Monta gives the Triumph its stunning look. Galloping like a workhorse is number 6. Baltic Bicompax 002. The Bicompax 002 is a perfect option for men who prefer small chronographs with simple, clean displays. It is powered by a manual Seagull ST1901 movement, which is definitely a workhorse despite not being the most refined. The case measures 39mm wide, while the lug width is 20mm, giving it a more streamlined appearance than most other chronographs. The 002's Hesselite dome is proudly adorned with a graduated circular brush chapter ring and a sandy matte double finish. This watch is available in silver, black, and a deep rich blue, with the finish helping the dials transition in the light and revealing its details. With a 42-hour power reserve, an optional display case back, and hand assembly, the 002 offers excellent value. Reaching the halfway mark at number 5. Islander Field Watch. The Islander Field Watch is the newest part of the Islander family. You get a Seiko NH36A automatic movement. It boasts 24 jewels, manual winding, and hacking capabilities. When you hack a watch, the second hand will stop moving if you pull the crown, which is quite helpful when trying to set the time accurately. Additionally, it has a power reserve that lasts for 41 hours. Along with the 5-minute markings on the watch, it features luminous hour and minute hands. The watch's stainless steel case measures 39mm in diameter and is 12mm thick. Additionally, anti-reflective sapphire crystal is used on the dial and the exhibition window of the watch. Considering that it is also water resistant to 100 meters, you are getting a ridiculous amount of value. An original at number 4, NTH Swiftsure. NTH stands for Nod to History, although its designs are entirely original. The company's mission is to provide high-quality goods at reasonable rates, and these watches surely meet that objective. The Swiftsure is primarily a tool watch, just like all NTH watches. With a water resistance of 601 meters and a helium escape valve, it will be capable of going as deep as any owner is likely to go. Naturally, it also features a sapphire crystal with a good anti-reflective coating that reduces the most glare from bright lighting. The bezel insert is also made of brushed steel, which, while not as scratch-resistant as ceramic or sapphire, has less of a chance of cracking. Also diving to great depths at number 3, Zelos Mako. The Zelos Mako 500-meter diver is an outstanding example of what a microbrand can create when they put their minds to it. It is a great option for men looking for a reliable diver at an affordable price, with a variety of color choices. The Mako's gorgeous 40mm steel case stands out in its price range. The steel case has softly brushed sides, polished bevels, and brushed steel on the top of the lugs on the back. With its straight and squared-off lugs, the case design itself is somewhat reminiscent of the old Seiko 62 MAS or the new 6R MAS reissue. This watch is powered by a Miyota 9015 movement and has a 300-meter water resistance. It has a case width of 20mm and a lug-to-lug distance of 46mm, making it suitable for smaller wrists. Making our top 2, Traska Freediver. Traska made a big impression when they released the Freediver in late 2018. It was a watch you hadn't seen from a new microbrand before, offering a diving watch with outstanding specifications, an original design, and a proprietary coating to withstand scratches. The Traska Freediver was reintroduced with a few small changes that gave the watch new life. The Freediver's proportions are nothing special, yet the case design manages to take these dimensions and make it feel just perfect on the wrist. With dimensions of 40mm broad, 12.5mm thick, and 48mm from lug to lug, the Freediver appears to be a watch that can suit just about everybody. The hands have been changed by Traska to tapered batons, which go much better with the applied markings. All things considered, the Traska Freediver looks fantastic on the wrist. It boasts a modern diving watch design that doesn't feel derivative. It has just enough flash to be dressed up with a leather strap, but the Freediver will look great regardless of the strap you choose. And the moment we've been waiting for, number 1. Christopher Ward's C3 Morgan Chronograph. The C3 Morgan Chronograph was unveiled by British luxury watchmaker Christopher Ward in collaboration with Morgan Motor Company. The original C3's design was inspired by the dashboards of old British sports cars, and that automotive influence has infiltrated many of Christopher Ward's products, including the new C3 Morgan Chronograph. The C3 Morgan's dial features a tachymeter, which is a must for any watch with motorsport influences, and huge Arabic numerals that are reminiscent of the dashboards of vintage sports cars like the Morgan 4x4 and Roadster. The overall design represents the personality and skill that went into the numerous cars that were hand-built at Morgan's Malvern home. A Ronda 5021D movement built in Switzerland confidently guarantees excellent levels of accuracy and precision. Another useful feature is its power-saving system, which can last up to 54 months from the date of manufacture if the power-saving mode is employed. This wraps up my review of the best Microbrand watches for men in 2023. Thank you for watching this video. Nothing helps my channel more than you watching until the very end. These videos do take a long time to make, but are a labor of love. If you enjoy this type of content, let me know in the comments. And remember, time is your greatest asset.